unbelievable Mayor Rob Ford. Rob Ford, as you may know, admitted last week to having smoked crack while in office. Since then, he said multiple times that he won't step down, and legally they can't force him to. So the Toronto City Council held a meeting today to vote on whether or not to ask him to resign, which seems very Canadian to me. Mayor Ford was at this meeting. Here he is being questioned by his chief rival, Councillor Denzel Minnan-Wong.
Mr. Mayor, do you still have zero tolerance for drugs, guns, and gangs?
Absolutely.
Mr. Mayor, can you tell me how that applies to you?
I just answered that question.
Mr. Mayor, have you purchased illegal drugs in the last 2 years?
Yes, I have.
Despite that admission, Mayor Ford reiterated today that he does not have a drug or alcohol problem. Toronto has a drug and alcohol problem. Their mayor. It was a crazy meeting. At one point, Ford implied that other members of the city council do drugs too, and suggested that they all undergo mandatory drug and alcohol testing, and said he would pay for that himself out of his own drug-buying money. There was another great moment when Councillor Michael Thompson asked if the mayor visited a crack house.
It has been reported that you attended a residence in the city of Toronto, and at that residence, it has been deemed or suggested it is a crack house. It is not a crack house. Have you visited the house? Have you walked in the house? No, actually, you haven't. You're listening to what the idiot says?
Mayor Ford, please.
No, I'm not going to answer the question.
But allow Councillor Thompson
I get to ask the questions. Thank you. You get to answer, Mayor. I'm answering, but you don't want to hear my answer. Actually, you're not being truthful. I'm not being truthful. Have you been into that house? I have no interest being in that house. I'm not a crack user. So,
You don't eat waffles, you don't go to the Waffle House. And this might have been my favorite moment of the meeting. Councillor Mike Del Grande asked the mayor about an incident in 2006. The mayor was kicked out of a Maple Leafs game at the Air Canada Centre for being drunk and disorderly. Imagine the mayor getting kicked out of a sporting event in his own town. So after that happened, the mayor apologized and swore it would never happen again. Clearly it did and then some, but Councillor Del Grande asked him to explain himself, and you have to hand it to Rob Ford. He did just that.
When you yourself came before this council and you apologized to your family, you apologized to this council, and you apologized to the people with respect to your behavior at the Air Canada Centre, you said that conduct would not be repeated.
In 2006, you're absolutely right.
Okay, so therefore, can we assume that the conduct has been repeated because you've stated on numerous occasions, to use your words, that you were inebriated? Every episode that has occurred that has caused commotion in the city has been because you've indicated that you've been inebriated, and yet you fail to appreciate that perhaps there's a problem there.
Councillor, I've admitted to my mistakes, and I said it would not happen again, and it has never happened again at the Air Canada Centre.